Hey, good morning, folks. This is MLive Chief Meteorologist Mark Torregrossa. Thanks for joining me on this Tuesday morning for the MLive Morning Weather Update. Lots to talk about here. We have some mild weather on the way. We also have another, what I would call relatively small weather maker on the way. That'll be with us Wednesday night. I skipped a day of work today because I worked on the weekend, so I skipped yesterday. So now I got to get my bearings straight. Hey, good morning, Antoinette Conway and Thomas Fick. And yes, another weekend storm, which we'll start to already take a look at. So let's get to it and show you what's going on. Michelle Stringer, Oakland County storms. No, Oakland County pretty quiet for most of the week until the weekend. Right now, the radar showing some snow showers, maybe mixed with a little rain showers in the northern part of lower Michigan, moving toward the northeast. That's the only precipitation that's worth mentioning that's going on right now. Let's look at our model for what's going to happen. This will show you today's weather. I'll show that to you a little bit closer. So here's today's weather, sliding northeast and really not doing anything across most of Michigan today. And then I talk about another small system. This is Wednesday evening, and it's accumulating snow in the northern half of lower and across the UP. And it's a rain mixed with snow, southern half. We'll look again a little bit closer at that. Hey, thank you, Cassie Lynn. Have I recovered? Yeah, I recovered fine from these storm systems. Is this one better than the last one? I guess you're talking about the next storm, the weekend storm. No, I'd say the last one, that one will be hard to top on amounts of moisture. When you're talking 3.5 inches of liquid coming out of this in the southern third of the state, 2 inches of liquid in the southern half of the state, 1 inch of liquid northern half of the state, that's a big moisture-laden storm. Now, this next one will be a big moisture-laden one. This, I guess I should say, the weekend storm. Let's get back to this, though. So this is Wednesday evening, Wednesday night, Thursday morning. So it's a second half of Wednesday, early Thursday type thing. Now, we get into some colder air, and that sets us up for the next storm. So we're into Friday now, Saturday morning. Does that look familiar? Yes, it does. Saturday midday, Saturday night. So the storm center tracking about the same way, which means we're into the mix again in lower Michigan because the storm center not far enough south for all snow on this track. Right now, we'll just deal with the size of the storm and the timing. We're into Saturday night, Saturday night. Now we're at midday Sunday and Sunday afternoon, colder air lake effect. So, in other words, it looks like we got some weather fun again on the way as we get toward the weekend. All right, let's take a look now at today, just real briefly. Traveling anywhere across lower Michigan should be just fine. Terracotta, how much in Jackson? Too early to tell that. And remember, even with this past storm, I think predicted good. The exact amount of snow came in lower than predicted. Exact amount of ice, probably pretty close, but you got to give it to me because I said, hey, we don't know how much ice will melt at the onset, and it did. Probably a 1/4 inch of it melted. So I think a very good forecast, but remember, we were fine-tuning that bugger right up until it happened. So even this next storm system will be the same way, and that's out in the weekend. All right, so here we are into this afternoon, and just little spurts of snow here and there in northern sections. Mark Page, good morning. Andy Amy Mogg, good morning. Brian Smith, stop calling them storms. They aren't storms. Yes, that weekend was a storm. 3.5 inches of rain. You know that was a historic amount of liquid for 2 days in a winter. The Weather Service is thinking, they were looking back through their archives, they're thinking that's the heaviest amount of moisture in 2 days in the cold season when you have a tough time doing it. So just because you didn't get 15, 20 inches of snow, yes, it's a storm. It's official. Okay, all right. High temperatures today, mild. Tomorrow, well, today, we got some 40s in the southern half of lower Michigan. Actually, almost kind of on the warm side. Bear with me just a second. I want to make sure that changed over for you. Yeah, it did. Okay. So tomorrow, southern Michigan, still mild in the 40s. Thursday, a little bit cooler behind that storm system. Thursday will feel like it will have winter weather. Friday, now Friday is important because that sets us up for the beginning of the storm. That track, again, would bring a mix in, but it would start on the cold side. So it would start with snow and freezing rain. And then if we were going to change over to rain, it would change over to rain. Saturday, and then Sunday, and early next week actually looks like we might have 3 or 4 days that truly feel like winter, not extreme type cold, but wintry weather. All right, let's look at Wednesday. Okay, here's 1 in the afternoon Wednesday. Here is 7 in the evening. And hey, good morning, Mike Sikori. Thank you very much. Need to get to the dog show on Saturday from Oak Park. Hope okay driving. Just keep an eye on it. It's still far out. These models, meteorology, have been great on the timing, character of the storm. But when you get the mix line in there, you can go from what looks like could be a icy road to what turns out to be just a wet road. So don't panic just yet, and don't panic at all, because we get through all of these, but just keep an eye on it with me. All right. Hey, good morning, Portland and Darlene Schrauben. Hey, good morning, Jeff Gilbert. Okay, so we're basically looking at a Wednesday afternoon, Wednesday evening type weather system, and snowfall on that right here. Let's call it a 2 to 4 inch snow in northern lower Michigan. Let's call it 1 or 2, maybe along US 10, and then let's call it less than an inch from Saginaw and Big Rapids southward to little, if any, in most of the populated areas of southern lower Michigan. So there you have it. That's the rundown. Today, you're good with traveling. Northern lower Michigan, eastern UP, you might find some scattered slick spots. Southern half of lower, you're fine. You're fine tomorrow morning. Sometime in the afternoon, precipitation starts. Southern lower, it looks like it's rain. Northern lower, it looks like it's snow. And then we look toward the weekend and that developing large storm system. So we'll keep you updated. Hey, I love it when we got a whole lot of weather, and we got a whole lot of weather again this week. Thanks for joining me this morning. Thanks for joining me on the weekend with our big Mambo weather maker there. And we'll see if that happens again. I'm MLive Chief Meteorologist Mark Torregrossa. Have yourselves a